James Gunn's Superman is finally out in theaters, and I am here to give you my unsolicited opinion on it, with spoilers. If you haven't seen it, this is your chance to leave now to go watch it for yourself. Then you can come back here. So basically, the movie jumps right into things. The only background info we get is text on screen with shots of Antarctica. They pretty much assume that you know Superman lore, so they don't even waste time with an origin story. He's apparently been Superman for at least 3 years now, and recently intervened into a conflict in another country. Which brings us to a Superman slumped over in the fetal position because he just got clapped by Ultraman. He calls Krypto to drag him back to the Fortress of Solitude so he can get a health pack and respawn to run it back. Sorry y'all, this is me mid-editing. I just had to throw this in real quick. Throughout this whole video, my dumb ass kept saying Bolivia, but the country was Boravia. So, yeah. So back to the video. But we find out Lex Luthor is actually controlling Ultraman in order to beat Superman. And because Lex Luthor is a D1 hater, he knows Superman's every move and is able to get the upper hand on him. This scene really shows you who Superman is as a character, because after he gets healed in his Fortress of Solitude and goes back to fight Ultraman, he's only at about 85%. He gets beaten again, and despite being beaten and broken, he still wants to get up and get the job done to make sure people are safe. And after the fight, we get the first and only instance of Superman being Clark Kent in the entire movie. We also get to see a little bit of banter between Clark Kent and Lois. The Bolivian president, I don't remember. Then the Bolivian president gets on TV and he condemns Superman for his actions in the country. And this is where we get to the central issue of the story. Some people aren't clocking that Superman is standing on business.
It's not clocking to that I'm standing on business, is it?
Basically saying that he's too powerful to be running around freely doing whatever he wants. We then find out that Lex Luthor has a pocket dimension on a beach camp somewhere off the coast of the city. And that's where he keeps like a whole bunch of weird things. He keeps his ex-girlfriends there. He keeps a bunch of monkeys and some superpowered beings. And then that's when it's revealed to us that Lex is actually controlling the beloved president and is using him to help destroy Superman's image. Superman and Lois, they started making out in the kitchen, and Lois starts asking Superman the hard-hitting questions like, what are we? I'm just kidding. She does interview him and starts to bring up the flaws in his actions and how that can look bad on his end. They fight, she reconsiders their relationship, and Superman storms out of her apartment. Lex Luthor finds the Fortress of Solitude, kidnaps Krypto, and steals his parents' message. The message was from his parents on Krypton, and only half of it managed to survive. The rest was illegible. They couldn't figure it out. And the first half pretty much said, Kal-El, we love you, protect Earth. But Lex Luthor manages to get the second half of the message working, and it ends up basically saying, Kal-El, we love you, Earth sucks, get you some bitches. And Lex Luthor broadcasts this message to the entire world. And obviously people didn't like that. People started to turn on him real quick. The government called for his arrest and he gets assaulted by a man in his suit. Lex gets authorized to take Superman in for questioning, but instead of doing that, he throws him inside of a crate with Metamorpho, who uses kryptonite to subdue him. He then proceeds to play Russian roulette with a guy in the beginning who helped Superman once, gave him one free sandwich, and then shoots him. Honestly, this was the best scene of Lex Luthor. It really showed how unhinged and menacing this man really is. Fast forward, Lois Lane and Mr. Terrific go to find Superman, and at the same time, Metamorpho decides to help out Superman because he wants to save his son, who's in the cell across from him. They break out and head to the Kent's house so that Superman can recover. Lex Luthor then finds out and proceeds to throw a hissy fit, and he decides to take out all of Metropolis and the world by allowing the pocket dimension to collapse and cause a reality or something scientific, physics. While all this is happening, there's an uprising happening in that one country, and they're calling for Superman to come and help them. And Superman is unable to go out there and help them because he has to help Mr. Terrific fix the mess that Lex Luthor made with the, physics. Instead, the Justice Gang goes and helps in Bolivia while Superman goes back to run the ones with Ultraman, who was revealed to be a clone of Superman. This was honestly obvious because in the scene where Lex Luthor breaks into the Fortress of Solitude, it just kind of lets him in, and it would only do that if he had Superman's DNA and he had Ultraman there with him. Superman then beats Ultraman by breaking his own arm and throwing him into a black hole. She was kind of tough. He finds and confronts Lex Luthor, and they both start monologuing at each other and start making out. But Crypto busts right in and starts ragdolling Lex Luthor all over the place. But it's okay, he didn't die, he only got a broken arm. Mr. Terrific stops the rip with science and shit, and the day is saved. Lois finally tells Superman that she loves him. Oh, and Supergirl shows up drunk to pick up Crypto, which explains why he is how he is in the movie. But that's crazy though, because Superman was really letting this unruly ass superpowered dog just fly off and do whatever it wanted. And the movie ends with Superman finally relaxing. He puts on the video of his parents to soothe him, but this time, instead of his Kryptonian parents, it's Ma and Pa Kent. But yeah, that's basically everything that happened in the movie. I might have missed some stuff, I don't know. But as far as what I like, David Cornsweat did a great job as Superman. I don't get the hate for his suit, to be honest. I think it looks great. I mean, they say it's baggy. To me, I'm like, I don't care. He looks comfortable. Let the man be comfortable. James Gunn did say that his version of Superman is beatable, and apparently a lot of fans didn't like that. Me, I think that's perfectly fine, especially considering one of the main critiques people have about Superman is that his character is boring because he's so OP. But despite that, in the movie, he still felt very powerful and capable. He literally held up an entire building that had other buildings stacked on top of it, and he wasn't even struggling. Bro, the shots of Superman in this movie was top tier. Most of it was shown in the trailers, but the added context from the movies just make them 10 times better. Like when he saved the lady from the building and she looks back and this man is floating out of the smoke from the debris with the sun beaming at the perfect... The movie had a very strong cast, in my opinion. Like, everyone did a phenomenal job. I think we can all agree on that. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor was just as menacing as ever. Definitely a step above Jesse Eisenberg's version in Batman v Superman. That's no hate on him. I actually enjoyed Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. He did the best he could with, what was given to him. I kind of wish we got more of the Daily Bugle cast. We didn't get a lot, but the little we did get, it was pretty entertaining. They had some of the funniest moments despite being on screen for like 5 minutes. The standout character for me had to have been Mr. Terrific, which is why he's the featured character of this video. And I gotta be honest, I ain't never picked up a single Mr. Terrific comic book. Listen, I'm sorry. I barely read any Superman comics. But despite that, I am a little familiar with the character from other pieces of media like Justice League Unlimited and the Arrow TV show. I don't know, I just loved his stoicism and confidence. Like, despite not having any powers, his intelligence and demeanor still made him very, very threatening. And depending on how they handle his character moving forward, he just might have a seat in the upper echelon of original Black characters. Characters like Blade, characters like Static, characters like Luke Cage, characters like Black Panther, characters like Storm. He just might be up there. Now, a lot of the critics said that some of the jokes did undercut a lot of serious moments. Again, I can only think of one moment really that kind of happened. Otherwise, I feel like the scenes that were meant to be serious were still serious. It was the scene where Lois and Superman were chatting about the whole situation that happened with his parents' video. And in the background, the Justice Gang is like fighting this giant energy monster thing. And so I can see how the joke kind of undercut that. That's probably one of my least favorite things that happened inside the movie. I think it would have been fine if they showed it at the start of their conversation and then just kept it off screen from then on. Outside of that, I still felt the weight of the serious moments in the movie. When the kid was lifting the flag, calling out to Superman, when he was chatting with his dad, when Lex shot the guy in front of Superman, even Lex's monologue to Superman while he was beating the dog shit out of him. I still felt the impact of those moments. And yeah, there were some silly moments that followed, but it felt consistent with the overall tone of the movie, so it didn't bother me. Now, there wasn't a lot I didn't like about the movie, but by no means is it perfect. Obviously, I have a lot of praise for this movie, but I still think it could have been a little bit better. And honestly, it was mainly the humor. A lot of it didn't land for me. Making Jimmy a ladies' man was a choice. It was funny, you know, here and there, but after a while, it got a little annoying. Mostly the girl. Like he has a secret relationship with Lex Luthor's girlfriend, and that's how he got the information to expose Lex Luthor to the media. I also kind of wish we saw that ass whooping that Superman got at the start of the movie. Instead, we just got establishing shots with text on screen. Like one of the texts said Superman lost his first battle ever. I wanted to see that. The beginning probably could have benefited from using visual elements to kind of illustrate the background, you know, similar to how they did it in Iron Man 1. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that bothered me in the movie. I still give it at least an 8 out of 10. But what did y'all think? Did I miss anything? Did you like the movie? Did you hate it? Are you not even gonna watch it? Do you like my drawing? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more, or else bye.